We had been advocating for a long time for the privatization of our municipal shelter.
The shelter was euthanizing nearly 70% of the animals in the shelter, and we knew that we could do more for homeless animals in our community.
So when the opportunity came to bid on the shelter, and that first deadline passed, and no one bid, it was time to put up or shut up.
We made the decision to, in 3 weeks, put together an entire soup to nuts bid and business plan on how to run the Kansas City, Missouri Animal Shelter. And 3 weeks later, submitted our bid and ended up winning the bid.
The very first day we were open, we held a huge adoption special, $20.12. When we did, I believe, 180 adoptions that week, it just kind of went from there. Everything you need to do to save lives, you just start doing it. We never had a prejudice against this one's too hard, this one's too old.
If you take the idea of shelter euthanasia off the table, it's amazing what type of ingenuity you will come up with to solve the problems that you have. And day in and day out, our staff continues to come up with ingenious solutions to overcome some of the challenges that we have.
I think one of the biggest challenges that KC Pet Project faces is the facility itself. We operate out of a shelter that was built in 1972. It's probably 3 times too small.
With our shelter setup, you know, there's hurdles we have to overcome every day, and we just have to keep overcoming them. We have to find a solution for each of them. We can't use an excuse because it costs lives.
There's nothing that we're doing that hasn't been done somewhere before. It's sort of trying to pull together all the best practices from around the country and implementing them all in one shelter environment.
KC Pet Project goes above and beyond what a lot of other shelters do for dogs like Remington that either have medical issues or behavioral issues.
The cats have never had it better in that shelter. Before we took over the shelter, a feral cat had never left the shelter alive. When we took over, we started a barn cat program, and they get to live. For neonatal kittens, those never left the shelter alive. So we started fostering out kittens. They could be fed bottles if they were too young. If they were old enough, they would go live in someone's home until they had a chance to be adopted. One of the things that we did to save lives was create a Parvo ward. We used an old bathroom, and that is now our Parvo ward. We've ran over 100 puppies through there. We have about an 80% save rate, which is extremely high.
I think playgroups have made such a difference in the lives of our dogs. Almost every dog has an opportunity to go out into our new play yards and have an opportunity to play with other dogs. Dogs are social creatures and enjoy the company of other dogs.
We are an open admission shelter, and so with that, it becomes a little bit of a numbers game. You know, we take in about 8,000 animals a year, so we know on average we're going to bring in about 23 animals every single day. And so with that in mind, you have to create 23 positive outcomes every single day to make room for the 23 that are coming in.
Satellite adoption centers, such as our Zona Rosa Pet Adoption Center and now our new Pet Adoption Center in Petco store, are truly life-saving centers for us.
I wouldn't be shocked if a llama walked in and they'd take it into the Pet Project. They obviously take in animals that can't fend for themselves, and they want to try to put them with people in homes that, you know, will appreciate them and fall in love with one another, as we have in our house.
It's so fantastic to see them go into their forever homes and to go home with families that love them as much as we have come to love them.
It is something that changes people's lives. Adopting an animal from your local shelter will change your life and their life.
It's an incredibly fulfilling experience to see all the lives that are being saved every day when I go to work.